Good morning, Phil.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, you're on the bus.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, I hear, a lot of the guys on this tour have been suffering from the flu a bit.
Absolutely, it was going like wildfire. Everyone's a lot better now, but yeah, it's time of year, and you're on a tour bus, you're close proximity. It's like going to kindergarten. Everyone gets sick.
And everybody else does. Sure, of course.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Phil, it's a pleasure to have you on the phone today. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy touring schedule to talk with rockbandreviews.com today.
No worries.
I'm honestly not sure how you find the time, but you're an extremely busy guy. I mean, first there's the Extreme Blues Project, Delta Deep, the G3 tour with Joe Satriani, John Petrucci, the upcoming co-headlining tour with Def Leppard and Journey. I mean, I find it hard to, do the dishes and take out the garbage every day. How do you do it?
I like the idea. I get inspired by just being inspired and by just working all the time. I think I'd go kind of nuts. I think just having that creative flow, creativity begets creativity. So I think that there's that thing. There's something rewarding. As awkward and difficult as sometimes it is, it's it just kind of works that way. It's kind of been like that for a while now, really.
So are you a believer that once you kind of start to slow down, you kind of run out of ideas or inspiration?
Something like that. I never suffer from writer's block. My phone is just jam packed with like a million ideas, and a lot of them come to fruition, and obviously there's not time to do them all. So I like that. That's part of the reward of being an artist is actually being able to stoke that fire, and it kind of gift that keeps giving. I do think that the minute you do stop being part of it, stuff starts slowing down, and everything changes. So no, there's that, and I just finished the Tesla album. I produced the Tesla album, and co-wrote all the songs with the guys, and that was totally inspiring. Because we was trying to create something just very different, in this day and age. So I love that, like that creative kind of thing out there that kind of propels you forward. It's such a cool thing,
Yeah, exactly. Now let's start with the G3 tour. How did you become a part of this fantastic ensemble? I mean, Joe Satriani and John Petrucci. I mean, it's just a fantastic lineup.
Yeah, what happened? I done the last summer in Monterey, California. I did the G4 camp, and that was great. And I got to play with Joe, and Paul Gilbert was there, Tommy Emmanuel. It was just insane, and Warren DeMartini was there as well. So we just had a blast, and I think because of that, Joe invited me up to the tour. We got to play together, and I'd done a song for the G4 anthem. It was like a guitar instrumental, which is kind of something different for me. I don't usually do that. It's usually very song based. But I did that, and we're having a blast out on this tour. It's like a show. I mean, there's three very different artists, guitar artists. We're doing some of the Delta Deep stuff, and then we get up and have this grand jam at the end, which is always insane. We just everyone inspires each other. There's no showing off and all that. We're actually trying to create music, and that's what I love about it. It's really, really super cool.
Yeah, I've been hearing some people have been going to 1, 2, or 3 different shows, and they're saying that each show is uniquely different. You're not going to see the exact same show every time.
Absolutely, and pretty much every night, we meet John and Joe. We find ourselves in the corridor talking about. It's really funny. We're going, wow, how cool was that? It went off in a different direction. It went off on a tangent, and it's inspiring. It's really, really, really fun. It's so not what you would think. With 3 guitar players, it's a lot more than that. It's an artistry and a kind of a mutual respect for music and guitar and stuff, and we're just loving it. It's great.
Now, well, I'm sure you have a set list every night that you guys follow. I'm sure if you're in a moment and you decide to kind of go off a little bit into something else, that's cool with everyone then.
Absolutely. Well, we do that every night. You know, it kind of we have like a set pattern. We plan 3 songs at the end. And, you know, it lasts for about 20 minutes. But we do Highway Star, which is kind of locked in. You know, you kind of pretty much got to play that, and that we do 3-part harmonies, and that's insane. I mean, that's really insane. And then we do Superstition, and again, you know, and Debbie Blackmore Cook sings on it on all 3 songs. And then we do Going Down, and it's every night, always different.
Amazing. Now, it's not even an argument that you are by far one of the top guitar players in the world, and I sincerely mean that. Now,
thank you.
Now, as also a Satriani and Petrucci, you know, do you feel that you have to step up your game when playing with, you know, guitar players of this caliber?
Absolutely. I think one of the main things, you know, they play so much and they're so amazing. So I've actually already, my plans changed in the last month already, you know, just from being around those guys. You know, an interesting thing, you know, Joe Satriani actually warms up before he goes, and we was talking about this, you know, I remember years ago I used to practice, and it really made my playing stiff and not right. He warms up, and it's a very different approach. It's kind of a gentle easing into doing this thing, and again, it's very different for me. I usually do vocal warm ups, you know, with Def Leppard and stuff, but with this, you know, I'm actually doing something else. I've raised the strap on my guitar because I'm playing stuff that I don't usually play, and so to do all that, I have to play more. I have to, you know, kind of, like I say, warm up and practice. Not so much practice, but play more and do other things. And I love the challenge. I love you know, being around those guys because it's definitely raised my game. I'm doing stuff that I don't usually do.
Yeah, and I think it's great that when you're performing with all these different, you know, world-class, worldwide guitar players, that you see their approach to doing a show, and you might glean a little something here and there, put it all together, and kind of make it your own, and that just makes you a better player as well.
Absolutely. I'm firmly of the belief that you should be better today than you were yesterday, and have more knowledge, and that is the case. You know, it's pretty exciting, I gotta say.
Well, this past Friday, Delta Deep was released out into the world. Tell us about Delta Deep and how that idea came to fruition.
Well, we just released a live album called East Coast Live that we recorded like a year and a half, 2 years ago actually, on tour. We have a studio album called Delta Deep that came out in 2015, and it started as a kind of extreme blues. That's the only way I can put it, because it was you know, in the amount of, you know, stuff like Hendrix and Cream and Zeppelin and the Stones. You know, they were all blues bands that actually took it a stage further. You know, when Delta blues turned into Chicago blues, basically because of a migration and the fact it went to electric guitar, all of a sudden it stopped. You know, it stopped. Hendrix and Zeppelin and the Stones, actually, they would all try and push that blues thing forward, and then obviously it turned into other music as well. You know, you had James Brown, you had Chuck Berry, you had all this other stuff that was inspired by it. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted that energy and power, the electric power, and Debbie Blackcook's voice, you know, which is kind of, you know, Aretha, kind of Tina Turner, Chuck.
You know,
like I was going to say, it was I like pushing the boundaries as opposed to becoming a karaoke band that kind of just is style and just copy something. So I think that's what we're trying to do with Delta Deep. It's fascinating, love it.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I find it so disappointing that the music of the blues, which is the foundation of the music that we hear today, it is no longer being produced or found on the radio anymore.
Right, right. It's but like everything else, it was shocking to me when bookstores closed.
Yeah,
That shocking to me when Tower Records disappeared and all of that. But especially when bookstores closed, because it actually it was very symbolic of where we're at. People stopping reading and stopping, kind of enriching themselves and stuff. So yeah, that was very significant, and so none of this other stuff kind of surprises me. I bearing that in mind.
well, thank God for satellite radio, because if we want to hear some Robert
That's
Johnson,
right.
we can just pop it right up.
Yeah.
Now, last week I received a press release announcing the co-headlining tour of Def Leppard and Journey. I mean, this is going to be probably one of the biggest grossing tours of the summer. You must be super excited for this tour.
Absolutely. We've been threatening to go on tour with Journey. We toured with them in 2006, and
Yeah.
we had such a blast, and it was such a successful tour. So, yeah, we're finally getting it back on the road. So that's really cool.
Now, as a guitar player, are you self-taught?
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. Now, you had talked about your voice earlier. Your voice is also your instrument. What do you do, if anything, to maintain your vocals while you're on tour?
We do vocal warm-ups every day, actually, before we go on stage. Every day, it's a series of vocal warm. It really helps because that is really demanding. That's more demanding than anything else, I'd say, is the singing on tour. And especially on a Def Leppard tour, there's so many, I sing on every single song. That is me, Rick Savage, and Vivian Campbell. The backing vocal thing, which we do with Joe, it's like every bridge section, every chorus, there's a lot of singing. So it's essential that we kind of, keep that working.
Yeah, of course. Now, I saw a recent picture of you playing on stage with your shirt off, which you often do, and you are absolutely ripped. I mean, how do you stay in shape while riding a tour bus across the country?
Well, when I haven't got the flu, I mean, I was actually working out just before I got sick, but so I'm taking a little break at the moment. But yeah, I work out every day. You have so many hours in the day, and there's always gym around, and I bring stuff with me. I've got a bench press and a kickboxing bag, a portable kickboxing bag that I while on, and so I keep that going all the time. So it's never a problem. I think if people start to do something, it's a bit harder. But if you're constantly and you're consistent with it, it's not a problem at all. It's just another thing you do during the day.
Exactly. Finally, with such a busy schedule, what do you like to do outside of music when the time presents itself?
I've got 4 kids, and I travel to see them, and they come out and see me. So really, as soon as I get any time off, it's really kind of family stuff because the rest of the time is just totally gobbled up by music. So so that's pretty much it. I don't really get any more time to do nothing. So except when I'm at home, I take hour and a half vacation. I go to the beach and stuff like that. Literally, that works. That does the trick. As opposed to going somewhere. I live in California. That's near Laguna Beach, and it's people they come there to go on vacation. But I take vacations all week. Really, I just go there. Okay, got a couple of hours here, and take advantage.
Well, I tell you what, you're certainly a blessed guy to be doing what you love to do for a living, and I want to thank you so much, again, for taking time out of your schedule to talk with us. We're going to turn this around right away, and since I have your number, I will text you the link to it so you can look at it, and
Perfect.
let me know what you think. And we're looking forward to seeing you next Thursday here at the Pompano Beach Amphitheater for the G3 tour, and if we can come back and say hi, that would be great.
Sounds great. Absolutely.
We
There you go.
we would actually like to do a guitar giveaway on our website. So if we can get you and the guys a sign on one, that would be great as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll talk with your
awesome.
people
Cool.
and see if we can arrange that.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, Melissa looks after me and Joe, so it's yeah, that's great.
And again, we're looking forward to seeing you in August with Def Leppard and Journey. It's going to be a blast. So safe travels to you on the road, and we'll see you next week.
Great, thank you. See you there.
Cheers, brother.